This probably won't be the video you were expecting. This is my fitness diary. This is my elliptical that I don't use, anyone want it? And this is just Paul. Last week we spun the wheel and it obviously landed on fitness and health. As you see, I'm standing here in a sports bra. And for a while now, I have secretly, well, not so secretly to my friends, they have heard a ton about it, have been following the very popular keto diet. But this won't be the common average obvious before and after keto video. This has a couple of twists. Number one, I've actually been on this diet for going on 2 years now. So this is more of a long-term account than the I tried keto for a week and look how much weight I lost. And number two, it was a struggle. To very quickly explain the diet if you don't know about what it basically is already, my mom just taught me this yesterday and it pretty much sums it up. It's a very low carb, very high fat, cutting out sugars and grains for the most part and just focusing on meats, fats, and vegetables. Green vegetables. Warning, I'm not going to have a before and after picture because when I did start this diet 2 years ago, I wasn't filming videos like this and I did not plan to show off my progress. This was just for myself. Well, I guess I have an after picture because I'm like standing right here in front of you. Yeah, this is what I look like now. This is after an entire holiday of eating whatever I want, so keep that in mind. So when I went to college, I gained the normal freshman 15 or 20. So right before I graduated, our school got a brand new free gym open to all the students and I took advantage of it. Oh my god, look at those calves. Yes! I remember that I sweated out an hour every single day on the elliptical and stair climber, about 6 days a week at that gym, kind of preparing for the rest of my life. But what I could not remember is how much I dieted. Like, I remember stocking up on those 90 calorie Fiber One brownies as well as like Kalamata olives and like lots of like diet stuff. But I also remember pigging out at the school's microwave cafe on like a calzone, like an entire calzone after one workout one day because I thought that I really deserved it. So when I gained a couple pounds back about 4 years after I was out of college, I decided to try keto. And I kept a journal to remind me from then on what actually worked and what did not. So this is going to be my completely truthful and personal journey. And note now that if you are a keto diehard that's very, very strict about the working of the diet, you might get mad at me in the comment section because it was a long learning curve for me and I probably did not do all the right things. I'm realizing that now and I'm hoping to improve in the future, even though I've been doing this for like 2 years. In the end, I had to format this diet in a way that worked for me, my lifestyle, my personality. Despite some of the up and down progress, this is my favorite diet that I've ever been on, and I'm going to continue to figure out how to make it work for me, and we'll see how it goes. You'll be here along for the journey. First of all, let me introduce the YouTube video, because that's all I do, is just watch YouTube, that sparked my interest in the diet at all. It was a TED Med Talk, a speech done by Peter Attia, that was called, "Is the Obesity Crisis Just a Disguise for a Deeper Problem?" And Dr. Attia explained how a little known diet could possibly reverse diabetes. And it's like a real tearjerker. I have the video linked below in the playlist Intro to Keto, which I am giving to all of you guys. I actually made it for some friends that never started the diet whatsoever, so now you guys get to have it. And I went through more videos and I learned more about the keto diet and how it actually cures some neural and brain issues, lowers your hunger while you're on a diet, and most importantly to me, it gives you more energy than a carb-based diet. One unrelated problem that I've always had is that I was constantly taking naps after work or school, depending on which part of my life I was in, so I was intrigued. Without further ado, let's get to some of the diary inserts so you can understand a little bit of what I went through and what my journey was like on this diet. March 2017, fitness plan, keto. So for food, I am trying a lazy version of the keto diet. Lots of veg, fruit, and meat, high fat, and a little grain and sugar. I've begun to cut cereal out completely. Will have a bun on my Subway 6-inch club. I eat mostly salads at lunch, no sushi. I'm trying to eat bacon and eggs every morning and a banana as a brunch snack. I'm not as hungry before lunch. I've lost an initial 3 to 4 pounds, going from worst at 152 to 148 today. I've stopped picking the candy and cookies. So yeah, when I started the diet, I started off slow. I cut out most of my grains and sugars, But like I said, I would have this like a banana, a bun. When you go cold turkey off of anything really that you've been doing for a long time, you have a habit of doing, especially just the standardized American diet, which you have been eating for your entire life, you will just plummet. You could completely fail, you could crash, and you're never going to try the diet again because it can be so strenuous on your body. So when you are starting this diet, if you're considering it, I would keep 1 or 2 items in the very beginning and slowly wean them out as you go. It will give you more success in the long term, and it will be a lot easier on your body. Your body will thank you. Exercise. Only 3 days into the diet, I haven't had time to exercise yet, but I assume it will be 50% of my weight loss. I didn't exercise a lot during this diet. I kept planning to, and you'll see a theme throughout the book. But one thing I'm really bad at this moment is sticking to a schedule. For some reason, because I did it really well in college. But, you know, when I have this 9 to 5 job, sometimes I go into the office, sometimes I work at home, sometimes I have a lot of places to go. I just can't seem to stick to it. It's one of my resolutions because I'm already really like familiar with this diet, but I want to get better at exercise. It's my main problem. Psychology. This is perhaps the unique change in this round of fitness achieving. I've taken it from Weight Watchers to focus on positivity at all costs. Instead of losing weight, gaining fitness. Instead of dieting, eating healthier. Not only does it help my own mental state, it wards off those fake compliments of, you already look great, when I talk about it. My favorite part I made up to focus on positivity is my fitness loading bar. So I was doing this thing where I drew on my mirror this loading bar like in a video game, and I put my highest weight on one end to my goal weight on the other end, and I would basically color it in as I went along and kind of the tick marks in between. It really keeps you focused and keeps that visual there so that you remember what your goals are, maybe remind you like right before you're about to open the fridge. Now, as I maybe alluded to before, be prepared to know that I never counted macros ever on this diet, and perhaps that was one of my major problems. But something I've learned about myself, you can't make me do things that I don't want to do. Like, you can't make me do artistic and creative projects that I'm not passionate about. You can't make me learn how to drive a car because I just don't want to. You can't make me use measuring utensils when I bake, so it's always a gamble when I'm in the kitchen. It usually turns out okay, but I'm never going to win cupcake wars, okay? Anyways, you can't make me count macros. What I did was stick to foods that were in the keto ranges. Now, when you are on keto, you are supposed to count the kinds of foods that you eat so that you can add up the numbers and not go over, not be dramatically under. But there are some lists online that chart the lowest kinds of meats, vegetables, the very few fruits that you can have. And I will link those below as well. Number 2, past water loss. Had my first keto coffee last night, and this morning I woke up not hungry at all, so I'm planning on this being my first morning fast with keto coffee. I stepped on the scale at 145. I think I've officially surpassed the loss of water weight since I plateaued here for a week or so. Now, and everything burned thereafter will be fat loss. Maybe. I think that at 150 pounds, yeah, the first 10 are like mostly the kind of inflammation, the water buildup that's in your body, basically just shooting out of your body, so the scale goes down very quickly. Like within a couple weeks, you could almost see your goal. And this was one of the problems. So during the first few weeks of this diet, I did experience the side effects. Acne breakouts, spotting, change in my bowel movements. Your body's literally freaking out because it doesn't know what to do with the abundance of fat and the complete detraction of carbs, which it is used to running its fuel on. May 22nd, 2017, hovering 140. For the past week, I've been struggling back around 142, 143. Then yesterday, I saw 140 for the first time at morning weigh-in. Then this morning, I saw 142 at morning weigh-in. The keto yo-yo is frustrating. I finally saw my midway goal yesterday morning after a long day of shooting, 415 on shoot. Day I ate keto coffee, Caesar salad at lunch, blueberries, deli meat and cheese from Inside Club sandwich, various cheese cubes, bacon and eggs, berry salad, with whipped cream, mushroom omelet, sausage and bacon, and now I'm at 142. Why the yo-yoing? I guess I'll keep you updated. One thing I did for the majority of this diet was keto cycling, meaning I would have a whole week or two of eating strictly keto kinds of foods, low carb foods, and then I would just take a day or a weekend of just eating carbs again. And this constantly put me back at my starting weight, even though it's somewhat of a thing that people do. I think that people on keto more likely will eat one meal that has carbs in it, or maybe eat more like of a healthier meal that actually has a few more carbs in it. But the way that I did it, I basically started myself back to zero, where I had to kind of do it all again. And the way the keto works, when you go back on the low carbs, you start dropping the water weight that you just gained from all the carbs, and it kind of happens fast that you just lose it all in a couple days again. Like I said in the beginning, diets of any type can be very psychological. You are in this world where you're going out with friends or you have family that are eating normal foods, and even if your food is so great, which is one of the things that I love about keto, it has delicious foods, you still feel like you're depriving yourself. Like, I could see a cake, and it could not be even a very good piece of cake. And just because I'm not letting myself have it, it does something to my brain. And it's something that you have to acknowledge about yourself and just kind of tell yourself you're going to be okay. It's something that I am constantly struggling with, and every day I get a little better and better at telling myself, don't be depressed about this. You're doing your body a favor by being on a good diet that is devoid of sugar. October 3rd, 2017, Life After Carb Day. October 1 and 2, I had finished my first keto 12-day cycle and had my first carb day. Well, too. They just kind of went together. I don't recommend this for the sake of my diet. I'm starting my next cycle, first day already down, at 145 pounds, which, as you might recall 2 pages ago, is where I started my first round. It's discouraging, but I have to report despite the number, I still feel rather slim, small, and deflated. This 145 is also a nighttime number. Bottom line, if I manage to dip all the way down to 140 or gasp into the 130s before this cycle is done, I'd have to pronounce this process a success. It wasn't. If I complete cycle 2, have my carb day, and bloat back up to 145 again, it's time to work harder. I also failed to, what's that word? Oh, mention. I also failed to mention I did not exercise during cycle 1. That was common. I may have a elliptical one day, but I'm not even sure if that was during the cycle. Going to maybe incorporate exercise this cycle. Maybe. Look at that underline there. Maybe. I'm definitely going to exercise if I don't reach the 30s this cycle or balloon back to 145 when all is said and done. The thing about exercising with keto, which I knew in principle but did not actually practice, is that when you are in ketosis, you are maximizing fat loss because your body is burning off its fat storage. So whenever you do exercise during the cycle, you're apparently burning off more fat than you even would if you're just, burning your glucose storage at the time. I hope I'm saying all those words right. Oh, people in the comments are gonna be so mean to me. It's okay, go ahead, be mean. So I kept trying new plans of action while doing the diet. I tried exercising, didn't always work. And I even at some point tried intermittent fasting. I did that for a while. At first I thought that intermittent fasting did include the keto coffee, but no, that does take you out of your fasting state. So I was skipping breakfast and eating in the small window in the middle of the day. There are some contradicting opinions on why this works. Some people say, giving your body that long term to get into, what's the word? Autophagy, I'm pretty sure. When you are in your fasting state, your body goes into autophagy, which it's like cleaning itself, and you are maximizing again on your weight loss. But others think that you're just naturally cutting down your calories because you are not allowing yourself to eat that extra meal or those snacks during your fasting window, so it's just the result of doing that, not eating as much food. But bottom line, I am a huge breakfast person, and when I was cutting out my breakfast, I basically was distracted all morning because I was so hungry, and then when I skipped my dinner, I was sad. So I quit and probably will never do it again. My last diary entry was November 27th. I had to switch to a new book because I ran out of pages. Dance to the Body I Want. I thought I'd give an update pre-LA. So the last time I wrote seemed to be September, talking about a vigorous cardio plan that I promptly dropped shortly after writing that. But I did pick it back up last week, right around Thanksgiving, which was 11/22, I believe a few days before. I was negligently eating whenever I wanted. Sure, I'd have a keto lunch or breakfast, but every day for a good 1 or 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, I really treated myself. I swelled with water carb bloat up to 148.5, yikes, which I again choked up to both the influx of sugar and a little muscle gain from a solid few days of strengthening short cardio. Since then, I've been exercising a lot during the week, almost every day, and then 1 week I just drop it all. Not an excuse, just the truth. After Thanksgiving, I basically went on a month-long vacation from my diet and just ate mostly anything that I wanted. What I would do is I would have a really good 2 days of pretty good keto, and then I would just eat something carby and sugary. It's a miracle that I didn't gain 100% of my weight back from the beginning, but here I am starting over again. But what's going to happen, I'm going to stick to the diet for a few solid weeks. I am going to drop all the weight, go back to 140, which is my water retention drop. And then what I'm supposed to do is continue to exercise, continue to be fit, continue to stay on the diet, and hopefully I will get past that plateau, that marker that I could never get past, to get to my goal weight, which has always been around 130. So last night I weighed in at about 146.5, which is not anywhere near even my midway goal, but not anywhere near where I started as well. And if you are like me, where you've been trying your damnedest at something for the longest time, have been experimenting, failing over and over and over again, I hope you at least take something from my optimism, because it's been 2 years, I'm not stopping, I love this diet, I want to figure out how it's going to work for me, and you know what, if you guys are good at this diet in the comments, please leave your comments. I know people get very heated on this subject. I've gotten heated on this subject of, telling people what to do, telling people what's right. But you know what? Comments don't cut my skin. You can go and be as mean as you want in the comments, and I will, I'll read it. The truth is, I really do love my body shape. I love the basic foundation of what my body is, but I always want to be the absolute best version, the best well-kept self that I could possibly be. But this video has been so long. I've had to turn my camera back on 3 times because it kept turning off on me automatically because it's been recording for too long. So I'm going to be making another video later this week that talks about the 4 pros and the 3 cons of the keto diet, and exactly what I'm going to do in the future to improve my progress. But now it's time to spin the wheel. I have to admit, this video was a huge struggle for me to write and make, because I knew that I wasn't going to be delivering a video that was look at my success, this is exactly how you do it, because it's just never been that easy for me. I get a lot of nice compliments that people try to give that say to me, oh my gosh, you don't need to do it, you don't need to diet, you look perfect. But I don't think that people understand that I'm constantly watching what I eat. I'm trying to be an actor, and as much as we are going into an era of body positivity, I want to look the way I want to look. I want to look good in a bikini if I have to wear one in a movie, I want to feel good about myself. I want to be proud of the work that I put into my body. And it's not something that's degrading myself. It's not me belittling myself, and I'm out of breath because I just ran up the stairs to get my wheel. It's only me trying again to be the healthiest, fittest version of myself, because I know it's possible, but when you have all these other things in your life, as a lot of you probably do know, it gets a little bit lost. You get frustrated. There's a lot of psychology. There's a lot of, scheduling issues that get in your way. just anything. But if you could do as much as possible just to succeed in your own small way, what more can you ask for? But yeah, so yeah, I'm excited about, you know, giving you more videos on keto. I hope that I didn't completely turn you away, because it is a great diet. It's got a lot of benefits. I'm going to tell you more about that in the next video. Please hold tight. Selfism! If you guys don't know, Selfism is a show. I started it about in the middle of Rec Radio, or towards the end of Rec Radio. It was a separate show that I was doing on this channel, and it's generally about beauty, makeup, fashion, girly things. Any of my videos that you don't necessarily like, feel free to skip, but I do encourage you to watch them if you are at all interested in just seeing that part of me, because I'm just a very, very girly girl, and I love those kinds of things. And I did a lot of the time focus on skincare, things that are kind of gender neutral as opposed to the very, very ultra feminine stuff. And if this is one of the hundreds of videos that you've watched on YouTube that you actually enjoyed, that is what the thumbs up button is for. You can leave a comment to talk to me. I like to respond. I don't get a whole lot of comments because this show is just starting, so I respond to most of them that are worthy of responding to. And share this with whoever you like that maybe is trying to start keto, because even if I don't have all the results, I have a lot of the resources and a lot of the information, and I'm trying. And if somebody that you know is struggling, I'm giving them my vote of confidence. Like, it's a long road, but I really enjoy being on the journey. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye. Oh my gosh, dude, I'm totally having those for lunch right now.